have a basic understanding of technology.
True of us, they pushed for things like human rights.
We can use video communications advocacy to be able to persuade our government and our leaders to be able to change policies for certain purposes.
Nextier, a multi-competency advisory firm, hosted its first ever Career Day program. This event brought together students from 3 secondary schools to empower them with the knowledge and insights needed for their career goals by leveraging our expertise in diverse sectors. The event kicked off with the national anthem, followed by the students introducing themselves, and a welcome remark by Nextier's managing partner, Dr. 𝗵𝗵𝗂𝗰𝗁.
Some of the things we tell ourselves is that we have to measure twice and cut once. What is it that we're thinking of? Meaning that you don't just have to make mistakes. It's not in our culture. And that's why we do research, we do policy. I'm sure when you go around, you're going to see a lot of good, meaning that people here read a lot as well.
Each unit delivered engaging presentations, sharing invaluable insights with the students and sparking meaningful conversations.
As I said earlier, if you look at these major epochs of history, the early modern period, it was humans' ideas and curiosity that drove them. The Renaissance period, the scientific revolution, the Enlightenment, all these epochs of history where ideas are shaping them. So, you would ask, why am I talking about ideas? What does it have to do with what we are discussing today? That's because at Nextier Advisory, what we do is leverage the power of ideas and knowledge to drive change. What we do is we think, we explore, we ask the hard questions. We go to the depth of knowledge. We help leaders figure out what are their most pressing problems. We help them figure out how to drive their strategy. We help them figure out how to drive their implementation.
Every intelligent decision in the power sector, including helping international development partners such as USAID, FCDO, African Climate Foundation. Just think of any important person in the power sector. You see, next year we are there. And we do that by like doing research, critical research, evaluating policies. We plan the projects for them. You know how Chidima says ideas. They tell us that, oh, okay, for instance, they'll come and meet and they'll, oh, 𝗵𝗂𝗲𝗄, I want to have like a large clean energy farm in Niger State. What am I supposed to do? I'll be like, okay, this is what you think I should do. I think you should do an energy auditing. Look at how much energy they have there. What are the energy resources, clean energy resources they have there, etc. Things like that. So we help them plan, we help them ideate, we help them mobilize the project.
Not everybody has access to energy, especially in rural locations, in villages that are very far from the grid. It makes sense to deploy off-grid solutions. So what this means is that you figure out how much energy, let's say, a village needs, and then if it's in a location like this part that is close to the north, that is in the northern part of Nigeria, that has a lot of sun, you say, okay, let us put solar panels and batteries to provide energy to them.
We work with hospitals, the private sector, governments, and international partners, as one of my colleagues mentioned earlier. Of course, we design projects, test them, and help to scale what works, adjust what is not working well, and of course, try as much as possible to provide solutions to the things that have not worked. So we keep improving because health systems are ever changing. Just like the dynamics of the human body, so are health systems. So our impact is changing lives, one solution at a time. I give you an example. During COVID, Nextier was an active part, played an active part in combating that very infectious disease called COVID. And of course, the records are there to speak for themselves. So we help improve primary health care in rural areas through an innovative Nextier solution called Frontier Clinics. And here, our clinics are based in rural and peri-urban areas and in the hard-to-reach areas. Of course, you know, part of the challenges with healthcare delivery is access barriers, distance to travel to hospitals. So Frontier Clinics are situated in rural and peri-urban areas to take away these access barriers. Sustainability in healthcare, where we bring experts together to find better ways to attaining universal health coverage. And I said our focus is promotive, preventive, curative, and rehabilitative services at a cost that is affordable to all of us. So We influence policies that improve on how services are delivered. And of course, we are a result-oriented setting. So the results speak for themselves. Healthier communities, smarter government, smarter ideas, good people, and of course, a healthy community translating to both educationally viable and economically viable society.
So now responsibilities of the data analyst, same as like I said earlier, generate trends. Why do we have a lot of attacks in Borno State? What is happening in Borno State? How many times do these terrorist groups attack? When do they attack? What kind of weapons do they use? So these are the things we go into the field to find out. Can come from any background and switch into data analytics career. You can come from, you can read anything. You can even read, you can study Yoruba language and become a data analyst, as long as you have basic math knowledge. So the skills you need, you just need, like I said earlier, basic math, Microsoft Excel, Power BI, Tableau, Python, a bit of Python, SQL. SQL is a language. SQL is a language, structured query language, and you can use it in environments like Postgres, SQLite, and so on and so forth. So let me bore you with details. Next. So your first step. So you might be thinking, how can I actually venture in? As young as you are, you can start learning data analysis. Many of us have mobile phones. You have a lot of resources on YouTube. I recommend Alex the Analyst. It's a channel on YouTube, Alex the Analyst. The guy is top notch.
Right? Nobody here is, I mean, you're not even motivated to do that. Now go to the next one, please. You want to give me money now? You want to give me money now, right? You want to give me? I have systematically and strategically appealed to your emotion by manipulating images. For example, if we have an initiative, right, to try to just feed the hungry, and we want to ensure that people know about this initiative. We want to promote the initiative. We want to get people to donate. How do we do that? We have to reach an audience that is beyond our own geographical location, and we have to do that through visual communication. We have to appeal to you, and that can even change policies by trying to advocates, for instance, right? We can use visual communication as advocacy to be able to persuade our government and our leaders to be able to change policies for certain purposes or causes that we are that we are promoting. The only thing that would communicate to a universal audience is illustrations, and that's why visual communication is very powerful. One of the most powerful. That's why videos have come to stay. YouTube is not going anywhere. Social media is not going anywhere because it grabs attention more than any other form of communication method.
You hear of data analysis and the rest of that. Most times when there are projects, we build websites, we build Android apps, we build iOS apps, dashboards. So when it comes to delivering work, we are actually the ones who build the systems every other person comes to use. Then I just mentioned that now. So we build apps, websites for real world projects. Yes, so then next, we run online and hybrid events, making sure everything from cameras to internet connectivity works perfectly. What I would advise you to do is, whatsoever career you decide to choose, have a basic understanding of technology. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, so even if it comes to programming, coding, yeah, you might not be that guy. You might not grow to the point where you are building Android apps, you are building websites, you are doing all of those things. But a basic understanding of, if nothing else, Python. How many of you have heard of the name Python programming language? Yes. How many of you can write a code, even if it's a script in Python? Let me see your hand. None? Wow. Okay, so you want to do artificial intelligence, that's going to be like your friend. Python.
How do you think the IT sector will be like, and will it progress in the future even without the existence of AI? do you think it will be more developed or less developed? IT gadgets are not like everything sometimes. So is it possible for us to actually make gadgets that do not make mistakes, that they are very accurate and work very fast without like frustrating?
The sky grapples with atmospheric changes, energy pressure differentials, and thunderbolts that generates billions of volts. You can find the slightest way to generate a little bit of that energy. We're looking at possible limitless energy. But the scientist, physicist Nikola Tesla actually dreamed of such innovations once, but at that time the level of technology was not up to. But now that we're moving towards artificial intelligence, I believe you can conduct such energy.
So there's technological advancement in Nigeria and the world in general. So why isn't the Nigerian government doing anything to eradicate insecurity, banditry, terrorism, cultism, etc. using technology? And if the government is actually working, what is their aim and their desired goals using technology?
After the presentations, the students went on an exciting tour of the office, getting a first-hand experience of a professional workspace and engaging with team members across various units.
What influences career choices, from my own understanding, is that you look at the problems around you and see how you can solve those problems. So whichever approach you think best fits the problems informs the career choices you take at the time. And the more problems you solve, the more impact it makes to society, the better your life is. But everybody goes to where the guy that solved the problem, right? So that is what I would like to add to whatever you've learned today, and I wish you guys the best as well.
But Career Advisory is a strategic and development communications firm. We have here in Abuja, and we also have a small team in the US. So we handle, when I say strategic communications, it's basically about, when a company will have its goals, right? So for example, let's say your school has a goal of making sure we have 100 students graduate with A's. So a strategic communications firm will definitely be the one to support your school to make sure that maybe in the way we're even communicating to parents, admission letters and things like that, we'll come up with communication, maybe flyers, strategies and all of that to make sure that it aligns with what the school wants.
As the event concluded, students received books to enhance their communication skills. The excited students shared their reflections on the session.
The session was very informative and educative. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about other sectors and what I want to be in the future. I really enjoyed the class and the session, and I'll see a big thank you next year for the opportunity. It was a very interesting class and I learned a lot. Very fun and interactive session. I would love to again next year. I had a very good time today and next year. It was a very meaningful, interactive and educating. It was just really good. And most importantly, everyone was really friendly.
Since he came here, he was lively, he was funny. He spoke to the experts, they gave us new ideas. People everything was innovative, it was really nice.
I think that what we learned here today is supposed to be every school in Abuja to have the opportunity to listen to what is the students like so much, and most of the confusion they have is that what they had to do, they will be able to make informed choices. I think they should from other schools. Most students should be invited. So next time the program like this next year.
With smiles, pictures, networking and lasting memories, Nextier's Career Day 2025 was a resounding success, empowering tomorrow's leaders while reaffirming Nextier's commitment to shaping the society we want to live in.